Hello, welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We are continuing our Ikkuro playthrough here, and I'm actually pretty excited because the day I'm recording this, the expansion for the Atuk and the Wakaris, I don't know how to pronounce it, that just came out today. So I think one of those races will be my next playthrough here, but we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, while we're still going through this playthrough, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do some crash research. We see our economy is doing quite well and has been scaling definitely better than being in the negative. So we need to continue our expansion of our fleets. So I'm going to form from an existing fleet and then build a new one. And then form from an existing fleet and then build a new one. I'm just trying to use up some of the stuff I already have, and then build another one. Okay, so that's 2 invasion fleets, 2 defense fleets, and 2 attack fleets. Hopefully that'll be enough to keep us moving along here. So we are on 9 and 10 for the invasion and the attack fleets. And then let's didn't need to do that. We're gonna have to top off the fleets, the ones I built from existing ships, because they did not. Why is that there? Interesting. I would have thought that would have sorted. Up there it goes. It just took a minute to update. All right, so DF 07 and 08. I actually have 2 less defense fleets than I do attack fleets. I should probably make the same, but we got time. That's unfortunate. It looks like it's doing the same thing where it's overbuilding. All right, we still got a bunch of colonization going on here. That seems to not be stopped. 322 colonies, scaling extremely rapidly. We are working on the super array now. Now we're going through and just building all these super things. And then we're going to go back and redesign our ships to just have the super stuff while we research and start digging into the repeatable techs. That is the current plan. Because up front, the super items are going to be better. And then over time, the repeatable techs, assuming the game goes on long enough, the repeatable techs will ultimately become better than the super techs. All right, let's sort this by population and go down to some of these newer planets, because we know that's where some of these buildings are not being built. Hoping. How do we not have... I mean, the Bascarans are probably... Bascarans and the Shakturi are probably the only 2 that have a chance here on planets like this. Sulfur volcanic colonies. Yeah, this does not need to be an outpost. It's plus 62 quality. That is crazy. Why would that ever be an outpost? Same with this. This should just be Hakonish. Alright, something goofy's going on here. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing here. That's alright. We'll go through and convert them all. Well, at least the ones we can. Hey, a Camino colony. Those are pretty rare for us. I'm surprised I have so many that don't have this building built. I would have thought pretty much all of them have it at this point. Looks like all these other ones do. So at least there's that. Looks like we colonized another couple here. All right, let's go through and check some of these planets that have the correct policies assigned to them and just reapply them so that we can make sure these new planets are getting the right thing. Here's carbonaceous, here's volcanic. All right, so we got these all set correctly now. Are they actually purging these planets? Like what exactly is going on there? All right, let's pay for that crash research. Looks like that spent most of our money. But that's okay. Oh, population. Never mind. Okay, so Hakonish is what we want here. Kamino's a secondary one we can have. All right, once we get the right population here, we can convert this. Dominant race is above 0. I don't want the Dayut. Alright, let's go ahead and keep building any spaceports that we're able to. We're really just kind of recovering at this point from our massive colonization, our not colonization efforts, but our takeover of the Boscarans and colonization efforts, because we're still sending ships to all these planets. And it's just taking time to get there. Alright. This looks awesome. 200,000 troop strength is pretty incredible. We haven't fully maxed out our troops yet, but we're getting there. All right, some of these outpost planets, I think I'm going to go ahead and manually build up terraforming facilities. If anything, just to try to bump them over the edge and get them to a point where I can upgrade them to colonies. And then get the correct species colonized there. Right, interesting. This says no buildable facilities here. I would have thought I would still be able to build something here. Right, lots of people are trying to convince me to engage with them diplomatically. I think I'm deliberately going to hold off on that for the time being. All right, this would completely bankrupt me crash researching this. So I'm just going to have to wait for a while. We'll get there eventually. All right, we're going to click through this and build a station anywhere we can. I don't know why these don't, like, I can build a station here. A research station. But why does this not show up in here when I go to, like, research locations to build a research facility? I would think it would, but it does not. Yes, I think there's several locations where I could potentially build something here. All right, I clicked through all those, and there's about 7 or 8 research stations I was able to build, which is just going to help our research out that much more. In the meantime, our money is overwhelming, so let's go ahead and at least crash the last year of research there. Look at the private sector. They've been spending pretty much as they've been making, which is kind of crazy this entire game. Go ahead and get these spaceports up and running. I want all the spaceports I could possibly get. Just going to help with our research overall. Be really nice to get all this super tech done. All right, let's go through and look at some of our outposts. Some of them automatically convert. I'm gonna upgrade this, even though it's like a garbage planet. Ictaria is like the home system for the Ictarians, so I just feel like obligated to make it a full planet. This hasn't changed yet. This hasn't changed yet. So nothing there, unfortunately. Didn't move around at this point. Actually, let me go back to those. I think this is the one I couldn't build anything. These are the ones, they're still building the biome shaping facilities, so can't quite do anything with that yet. Let's look at our invasion fleets. Now, I should be able to, gotta imagine, very easily, with all of these troops and fleets flying around, should be able to very easily destroy these guys, the Leantar Collective. They only have 3 colonies. They're not allied with anyone. Let's just take them out. Somehow they're like number 4 in strength. It's pretty crazy. But let's just go ahead and declare war on them, which is going to cause some negative feelings, but that is okay. Let's go to the entire collective, all colonies. Go purge out what we can. Should be pretty straightforward, I got to imagine. Oh, we are destroying a ton of their ships. Somehow they have Mars. I'd love to take that over. Might as well use some of our cash to recruit these admirals. I don't really understand why some of these, even though they're under the prisoner section, they seem to not actually be prisoners. Is the AI like returning them or something? This guy's not that good. I don't understand why he's having such a hard time. Alright, whatever. They have made 0 progress, so we must have destroyed, or they must not be able to destroy any of our ships. At least not yet. They must be hurting so bad economically. Like they have no defenses. Alright, let's get the super drive done. Cost us about half our money, but that's fine. We'll recover as our reputation isn't bad anymore. It was negative 100, now it's negative 6, so it's slowly improving. It's actually incredibly easy combat there. Now we just got Mars. Well, there's no defenses to clear. There we go. We got an invasion fleet going. Alright, you guys have like full everything. I don't understand why you're taking so long. Just get over here and invade. There we go. There's no need to offer to end the war because we're going to end the war right here. Alright, war has been ended. Everybody is happy once again. And we are now the proud owner of 3 more planets. Okay, so now we are down to pretty much only the people who are not already in the alliance. At 57%. Could wipe both of these people out in one fell swoop. Nope, it kind of locked up on me there. Part of me wants to, and part of me is a little bit afraid to declare war on the entire alliance. I do think militarily I'm probably stronger than all of them. At least when I look at the stats here. Yeah, these guys, like, nothing. Very little. Yeah, those two combined, those are the biggest guys combined, and they're both about 6.5 mil. And I'm at 20 mil, so I should be able to take them. Their tech looks a bit, if I look at their weapons and armor, Sentinel multi-beam defense and Thuon beams, which is very, very weak comparatively, especially with the super weapons. See what these guys look like. These are probably the biggest threat. So star beams is their primary weapon. Not too terribly pressed on that. Let's see what we can do before we go the military route. Let's see what we can do about buying any of the systems from any of these people. Can't buy anything from you. 13 mil for this. I'll buy that. Got nothing. Got nothing. You have a couple mining stations and some spies. Alright, these guys, I was gonna say likely have the most, but not really. This planet, Cone. Where is it? Seems like a decent planet. Mangrove forests, decent quality. That is a decent chunk of cash, though. Okay. That's actually going to put me in the negative for a little bit. That's alright, we should bounce back pretty quick. Now you have several planets we'd like to buy. We're gonna have to save up some scratch for that. Alright, the troop loading looks like it's going pretty well. Most of my fleets have over 100k on them. Some close to 200k. Right, did we finish this? We did. Alright, I can upgrade this now. And hopefully get some Hakonish over here. Alright, hopefully that'll go alright. There we go, they all teleported away from our planet now. Alright, I don't think either of these are going to be anything but outposts. for the foreseeable future. Actually, that's a +9 with the Shakturi. I just can't build anything here. Alright, that's applied to all sandy desert colonies. Our money is slowly but surely coming back. I should probably buy the cheaper planets that I can buy from these guys. 2, maybe 3 that are relatively inexpensive. Alright, there we go. 5.4 mil. Buy a couple planets. So why are we not colonizing these? Like this one I understand because it's an enemy territory, but like what are these guys doing? Yeah, Xenox +20. Maybe it's my policy settings. Let me look at colonization. Let's go to 19. See if that triggers them to start colonizing. Yeah, it looks like that might be getting them to where they need to be. Hopefully. Alright, 3 more super techs and then we are ready to retrofit. And then after retrofitting, we are ready for war. Let's take a look at some of the stuff we have here. Probably want massive assault forces so that we can get that done. Let's just get all these defense things figured out because we know we're gonna need them. Knock out all these techs. Our research is over 50,000 now, which is massive. Okay, we have finished the final super tech. So we are now completely broke, but we'll let our cash build up a little bit as retrofitting is bound to happen. Let's go ahead and take a quick gander. Let's build these shipyards first. I want to make sure that money is spent before I do any sort of retrofitting. Okay, so let's just take a quick look through here. Anything that has a 0, we probably don't want. Now, why aren't these patrol cruisers being built at all? If I look at the fleets, latest design for whole patrol cruiser. So why wouldn't you be in there? These are all fleet command cruiser. Not what I wanted. That's explicitly what I told it to do here. Latest design for hull patrol cruiser. Interesting. But we're gonna have to parse that one out because that seems a little bit problematic. Let's just say automatic on all these. Maybe that'll do something here. All right, so interceptors, we know those are. Let's test this out because this screen used to be super laggy anytime you change something. Phaser cannon. Latest per category and family. I think blasters are fine for fighters. Citadel shields and stellar armor. That looks good to me. And yes, the lag is completely gone on that. Quantum shards, I like it. Let's take out the phase beam array just so it's just a monitoring station anyway. It's not like it's doing any actual work. Now 0-point reactors might give us the opportunity to take away some of the stuff. Now, if we look at the weapons, so it's a larger size, does way more damage. So crystal sensors, I feel like those should be replaced by void sensors, right? They're too massive. Yeah, why is the size so huge? Kind of ridiculous. So crystal sensors, a short range scanner. Equivalent of this. Nothing else is short range. Interesting. Okay, so this is exceeding energy usage. I'm going to need to either take stuff away or do something. I'll mess with the small spaceport later. I think what I need to worry about more is some of these defensive bases and power generation, apparently, because that seems to be a little bit of a problem. All right, we're going to need more reactors. And then I think maybe if I'm lucky, I'll fit one of these on there. All right, that should be a pretty significant upgrade there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and it looks like one of the problems we're going to have here is that the space constraints on this larger stuff, or on the super stuff, is significant. And it's going to be problematic. So between episodes, I think what I'm going to do is go through and just retrofit all my ships, knowing that some of them are going to kind of take a slide back, and I'm going to have to reduce the amount of weapons just to add some more, like, very powerful weapons to it. But I think ultimately that will be worth it, and it'll bridge the gap until we can research all of the necessary text to start getting that recurring research to happen. So I'm going to do that between episodes just to not eat up more time. And then I think after we retrofit all of our ships and get that all built out, we will get ready to engage in a little bit of combat there. I think we're going to see our military ship strength skyrocket once we design all the new ships and have all the retrofitting done, and that'll be kind of exciting to see. And from there, we'll go after everything else. That being said, we are still researching things that are gonna improve our economy. Biome shipping facility is gonna increase our population even more. We're at 357 planets. We were at 320-ish when we started the episode, so still growing, still expanding. Although, to be fair, all the low-hanging fruit here is pretty much gone. Mostly just retrofitting and waiting for these existing planets' populations to start, growing up to their maximum potential, which is just going to take a little bit of time, but we're slowly but surely getting there. I think if we look at our victory condition, we could see we are at 58%. Our next closest is 39, so pretty big gap between the two of us. And we will we'll go after them pretty aggressively once we get our ships all retrofitted, ready to go. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.